Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at the best torpedo cruiser in the game, the Minotaur. Hopefully you guys enjoy this game. I wanted to play it emphasizing torpedo scenarios, and, well, you'll have to wait and see. And before we do that, though, let's hear from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. The Ridge Wallet is designed with modern living in mind. It holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash while maintaining a slimmer design compared to a more traditional wallet. There are over 30 colors and styles available, including 2 brand new styles. We have Damascus, and then we also have Stone Washed. Both of these and more can be found at ridge.com. The wallets come with a lifetime warranty and over 40,000 5-star reviews. The Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it, they'll let you test drive it for 45 days. You can send it back for a full refund if you don't absolutely love it. The Ridge wallet is the perfect gift for this holiday season. Visit ridge.com/Notser and use the offer code Notser for a 10% off your next purchase today. Alright, so we're moving up. You'll notice the build, very similar to that of a DD. I do play this kind of like an oversized DD. Obviously it has a citadel, but it still is very effective in the DD role. It has improved concealment, it has a really high rate of fire, it has smoke, it has torpedoes, and those torpedoes are really great. It's British, so they can send single, so you can send a lot of torpedoes both from the port and the starboard side. One of the skills that opens this up more is the slot 3 torpedo protection plus a little bit extra speed. The speed is, it's nice, but it's not as beneficial as that 40% protection from torpedo incapacitation. Torpedo incapacitation, just as gun incapacitation, is one of the single most frustrating things that creates inconsistency while under fire. That's partially why players probably avoid taking fire at all costs, because they don't want to invest in skills that make them more resilient. They want to invest in skills that make them do more damage or have more accurate shells, because 98% are going to be that way. And that's absolutely true. But you'll notice we're having no trouble doing damage to this guy, and we did not take accuracy in slot 3. With the torpedo protection, though, I can take damage and be closer and not have them instantly deactivate for 15 or 20 seconds and force me to use either damage control or just accept that I'm not going to be able to send my torps. That extra protection is definitely nice. So we nearly killed the Bismarck, and I'm just trying to avoid taking huge amounts of damage. We are spotted. I believe that there is probably a DD to the east, somewhere on the east side. And as I position myself, I'm further verify that yes, there is something that has direct line of sight. Now you see that little narrow area between the island and the buoy, or the island and the smoke ring. That is where the DD could possibly be spotting me. So that's a very narrow field of view, right? Because everything east of this target is either spotted or protected. And yep, sure enough, the Asashio, super low. We only need one shot, and he's knocked out. He tries to use smoke, but it is not successful. Now, the Asashio torpedoes cannot hurt me. They only hurt carriers and battleships, so I feel no fear to aggressively push quickly. This window might close. Obviously, as I'm going to aggressively push forward into this area between B and C, I want to consider using my torpedoes. Whether you use single or narrow, it's not wide. Single or narrow, it's really up to the situation. Now, there was a ship that could be going into the smoke, and I decided to use my hydro. The hydro is a great source of protection from torpedoes, but also detecting any targets that are near you. This is kind of like a Z-52 when you consider this exact play, because we are under smoke protection and we have hydro up. So if a target is spotted within 5 or 6, we can decide to open up on them. Unlike the 52, or unlike a small caliber with hydro, our detection basically blooms out to hydroacoustics. So there's not going to be any stealth firing with this, but that doesn't really matter because their rate of fire is ridiculous, obviously. And of course we have an Alsace incoming. So the Alsace is going to be going probably 30 to 35 knots, give or take. And because of that, I give him a traditional 30-knot lead with the top of my crosshair. And if you're curious, I'm using Nomogram Classic. I have a video up right now on the channel, and there should be a link that's showing up on your screen right now. You can check it out if you'd like to see if this binocular works out for you. I certainly prefer it because it normalizes the lead necessary based on the shell's velocity. So for instance, the Minotaur, not the fastest shells in the game, but the binocular's super accurate. Now we move a little bit into the middle, and we notice this Benson, and a friendly spots him, and between myself and that Orkin with his radar, he's vaporized. Now there's a couple other enemies on the other side, and I don't want to cross over where I'm spotted. I do have smoke, of course, but I don't want to cross over dangerously. But we did help with B point. I don't think I can capture B. I just know that we helped contest it, and the teammate who's there, he should be able to. Enemy aircraft carrier sends his squadron probably to detect the friendly DD who is capturing it. And because he's going to send it, he's going to detect me too. So I decide, okay, let's pop our smoke and let's stay in this area and hopefully provide AA. And I'm really hoping for a crossing enemy ship. I obviously would love for it to be spotted, and we don't really have good spotting on this flank in that gap between myself and smoke. Obviously, I can't spot for myself when I'm in smoke, so I've denied that. Teammates, DDs, not interested in showing themselves. Don't blame them. But it does mean I have to go looking for some spotting. And of course, enemy Salem in the center, he's kind of broadside. I was looking for a Citadel. I would love to punish him. And we're doing okay. He is turning away though, and any ship that turns away from AP, it instantly becomes way less effective. So I'm going to immediately look for another target. Enemy Hindenburg, of course. He also is turning away. And when a target is perfectly facing away from you in something like the Minotaur with AP, it's very difficult to do guaranteed damage. It's pretty much just throwing stuff at a wall, hoping it'll stick. I much prefer broadside, and yep, here we go. This is the type of broadside that we really, really thrive on, and we're just going to go to town as long as we can. Meanwhile, there is a battleship. This battleship is in between B and C on the north side of that island. I was going to keep my torpedoes waiting for the potential threat that he's coming around. You don't want to use all of your cards when there's threat near. If you hold on to one that can deal with it, or at least slow him down until someone else can help, you should be safe from all threats. And that's pretty much what I plan to do here, and it seems to be working well. Radio location, of course, is telling me that yes, indeed, that battleship on the other side that is spotted perpetually is indeed the closest target. So I don't get any extra information as far as like enemy DDs or enemy cruisers that are unspotted moving around me close. He does decide to use his aircraft, and I am trying to duck into solid cover since my smoke is actually done. And it ends up working out really nicely. Now notice, there is a cyclone. The cyclone is not what I want to see, because it's going to make it a point blank, and if I point blank a battleship, he can pretty much pin me from any angle. The Minotaur is very particular. Very particular. But we do have 2 bases. They have 0 bases. Everyone is on the east side. Save for 2 enemies and 1 friendly aircraft carrier. It's funny that the aircraft carrier decided to go so far away from us. He's going to have to defend himself and attack whoever is. I would not have made that play. If I'm the aircraft carrier, I'm probably going to shadow the strong flank. So he should have been south of BC, in my opinion, because that way we can at least go and help him. He's on an island, a literal carrier island, and we can't do anything here. So I have to just accept that I probably won't have a carrier, and we already are a ship down, a battleship down. Enemy battleship is finally moving into this position, and oh gosh, we pull like the worst possible Notser. I was just barely trying to send my torpedoes, but I didn't realize that the torpedo angle was not enough to allow me to pass by this island. So this enemy Georgia, he's really waiting to go, and I'm just thankful that either he saw the torpedoes, or he was aware of it, or he just decided to pause Regardless, I wasn't punished. So it worked out nicely there. We could have used our smoke, but it isn't as immediate as the Italians, so I would have to have done that preemptively if I wanted to avoid maybe a return fire from the Georgia. But we have 2 bases, the enemy has none. We don't need to press at all, the enemy has to make all of the big plays. There's really nothing more than just stay in this area and punish any players that come here. That's the best strat, I think, that's in the game. And we have Cyclone. So clearly the Georgia is the only target I'm going to see because of Cyclone. So just need to be aware that there might be, yes, there might be incoming enemy Prince Eugen, slightly angled. That's okay. We're just going to locate the shells a little bit down, and we're going for the superstructure. He's going to try and angle against us, and it's going to make it hard. And I do a quick check on my torpedoes, and no, I think he's over-rotating. Yeah, he's over-rotating. Don't know why he's not firing. Maybe he can't keep up because he's actively maneuvering. Doesn't matter. I can keep up, and we should be able to kill him even blind. Yeah. There we go. Nice. And while I was doing all of that, I made sure to keep that island that is blocking the Georgia directly in between me and the Georgia. That way, it's still a 1 versus 1, even though there are 2 enemy ships that are within vision of my ship. Little tricks like that is how you can really pump out the damage without having to necessarily compromise in order to prevent, a full broadside citadel from a Georgia. I don't want that, clearly. So we send torps, maybe expecting to come forward, maybe not. I didn't want to hit the friendlies, and the friendlies are definitely dealing. And, friendly does a big shot on the Hindenburg. We have a friendly, just friendly stack up there. Conqueror's down. Enemy Salem's back for more. We're going to go against the Salem. He's trying to contribute. We're going to try and counter his contribution and force it into a more advantageous encounter for my teammates. And, yep, of course he catches on. He's going to angle as best as he can. He's not going all the way, so we have to really locate these AP shells on his superstructure. That's really the only place it's going to pin. So we got to elevate the shell. I'm trying desperately to avoid the AP broadside that he wants to do. We can heal. So can him. Friendly, barely misses his AP broadside. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So we only have torps on our port side, so I would like to force this in this direction. And he's desperately trying to get AP on our broadside. We are just barely able to get it off before he punishes us further. Use my super heal. The closest enemy target, last known position. It's got to be this guy who's repositioned and is no longer spotted by the Petro because he can't use his radar. So we're going to be very careful as we round this. Ready to show as little as much. And yep, enemy George is there. He is not looking at us, thankfully. I'm going to send 1 narrow and then 1 single at his location. It's kind of the best of both worlds. If he moves, we're going to get with the narrow. Sorry, I want to say wide all the time, but it's really just narrow and single. And then the singles are going to pile on and do tons of damage. And man, he is just not willing to show himself. I think he actually disconnected. Really sucks that the Georgia disconnected. But we're doing as much damage as we possibly can to his nose. He was holding it, and are we going to get our torpedoes? The Petro. The Petro gets the kill. Probably karma. Yeah, right, Herm. It's karma. Herm's over here telling me how much karma I deserve right there because I was attacking the AFK. Radio location is pointing at a ship maybe coming from a point towards us. So I'm just going to sail towards him. Because we've been so aggressive and so successful, I really just don't care if I die. I want to get as much point total as I can and be as interesting as I can. Because, man, some of these games lately have been just the worst ever. So anytime I get any level of craziness, I embrace it. So we're pushing into this target. Friendly attempts to use some type of detection. One of the enemy targets who's killed the friendly aircraft carrier. He is being spotted, and enemy Alsace in range. Initially, we aim for AP, but of course he's going to angle so he can use his guns, and please miss. Thank you, German dispersion. I know it's French. It's my turn, and we're going to just ram the island so we have torpedo angle, and we're going to switch to single, and we're going to send every torpedo right into his nose. Unavoidable, and see you later, enemy Alsace. I love the massive amount of water just like cascading off of the front of a ship as all those torpedoes hit at the same time. It was great, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my Minotaur torpedo game. And we actually ended up finishing the unique upgrade here too. Not that I already had it because I'm a CC, but the game was amazing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can click the most recent or the most relevant uploads. You could also choose to subscribe to my channel. We do World of Warship videos, first impression, how-to, news, or review related. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.